$5,000 Marsha P. Johnson New Ideas Prize has been announced for Florida's LGBTQ+ Ideas Festival, October 7 and 8. It's 2022, and not since the days of Marsha P. Johnson and the riots in New York at the Stonewall Inn have we seen the kind of attacks and problems that the LGBTQ community face today. Johnson was a legendary transgender woman of color and a drag queen that led the protest for change.
It's a big one. Today, the world's most famous drag queen, RuPaul, tells us, quote, "When the going gets tough, the tough reinvent themselves," end quote. Good advice. So to reinvent the LGBTQ+ community must come up with new solutions. The time is perfect with Smart Rides Florida LGBTQ+ Ideas Festival presented by Hotspots Happening Out Television Network.
It's happening October 7th and 8th, 2022, and is a fun, informative, and educational think tank to come up with new ideas to some of the LGBTQ+ community's biggest issues. And you can participate. Held at Fort Lauderdale Sunshine Performing Arts Center, the October 8th day-long program will include continental breakfast, lunch, and break refreshments. And your ticket is just $10.
You can also participate in the incredible Ideas-a-thon. You can participate in an exciting new ideas contest, complete for the Marsha P. Johnson New Ideas Prize. And if your idea is selected, you will win $5,000. It's that simple for something so important to the LGBT community. And the festival is just getting started.
There is a kickoff party on Friday, October 7th, and a closing party Saturday, October 8th, where the finalists of Marsha P. Johnson New Ideas Prize will be introduced. The festival also features Smart Rides Sunrise Training Ride to introduce you to participate in the November Smart Ride, America's only event like it that donates 100% to needed LGBTQ+ nonprofits, and crossing $15 million is in reach. Smart Ride 19 is here.
The festival reminds you to ride yourself in the Smart Ride or support a rider and the organizations that benefit. The programs on Saturday, October 8th will feature all-star panels of guests on some of the biggest issues that we face today.
Different segments feature a program on collaboration and cooperation and the reasons why the LGBTQ+ community sometimes doesn't. This important discussion will include myself as the executive director of Smart Ride, and I will be joined by a collection of executive directors from Broward House, AH of Monroe, Pride Lines, Epic Health, Compass Palm Beach, Miracle of Love. They have all learned and benefited in collaboration and cooperation.
Other panels include LGBTQ+ housing crisis, including those with critical health needs, the cost to buy a house, and even to rent in our own communities.
A youth panel entitled "Don't Say Gay: Why Are Students and Teachers Silenced?" will explore how this attack on our community may help someone be the next president of the United States.
A cutting-edge medical program called HIV and Healthcare. What's next? More money is spent on LGBTQ+ community in healthcare and any other segment, and you will learn about the 2030 plan to end AIDS.
Discrimination in the LGBTQ+ community will be addressed at the Disposable LGBTQ+. We all become seniors.
The focus of America's culture war will be studied during the program. The attacks you see, the attacks you don't. That's trans.
People of color will have a full program called The State of BIPOC in the State. Explore why woke and race are such issues in our community.
A special lunch panel will focus on the Latino community entitled "Special Needs of LGBTQ+, when you add the complexity of foreign language."
The woman of our community will be the focus. LGBTQ+, since when do ladies go first?
Special all-star panelists will discuss the upcoming election for LGBTQ+ in "We Want to Win, but we are not really going to vote."
Another special panel on religion has been assembled to consider, do we have faith in the LGBTQ+ community? And the word faith means many different things.
Even the future of LGBTQ plus owned businesses will be considered in Let's Shop, Let's Spend, the business future of LGBTQ plus.
Each one of these special conversations will focus on expert new ideas from the panel and the hundreds of registered festival guests. But that's not all. Hotspots Happening Out television network will broadcast the entire festival live on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
You can also watch on YouTube and Facebook as dozens of other LGBTQ organizations will broadcast the festival from Queer News Tonight on their social media pages to create the first ever group of stations broadcasting all these amazing ideas.
This is completely a nonprofit 501c3 event to benefit our LGBTQ plus community with new ideas. Registration for Smart Rides Florida LGBTQ plus Ideas Festival, presented by Hotspots Happening on Television Network, is open now. It's just $10, including all your meals. More information and registration at happeningout.com/ideas.
You can also enter the contest to win the Marsha P. Johnson New Ideas Prize and the $5,000 now. Marsha P. Johnson fought on June 28, 1969 for your rights in a dress, as a drag queen and a trans woman of color. From that experience, she helped to create new ideas for change, including the founding of Gay Liberation Front and organizer of STAR, the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, and her solution to AIDS was ACT UP. We hear wolves at the door. It's time for some new ideas. Support Smart Rides Florida LGBTQ plus New Ideas Festival, presented by Hotspots Happening Out Television Network.
You know, it all begins with an idea, boys. That's it, right? And now, I mean, I love this idea and I love the think tank concept. Then you added 5 Gs to the event. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. But I'm exceptionally excited about the women's panel. I mean, you know, I know that every single one of the panels that you mentioned, wow, are so important. But the women's, you know, we have issues with healthcare. We have issues with getting along with the G, and trying to welcome in the T. There are just so many issues in our community. And until we all come together, there is no way that we can fight this big monster that is trying to silence us.
And for me, since the start of Smart Ride in 2003, it's always been about collaboration. It's been about bringing our entire state together, bringing in riders from around our state to ride together to end AIDS, to raise awareness and that kind of thing. Last year, we had 39 states represented. That means part of our country came together. 39 states had people, more than one, fly down here, participate in the event, and raise money for our AA service organizations, ASOs, here in Florida. That's huge.
You know, it's you touch on it, Glenn, and for me, watching the Smart Ride, you know, I've watched it for a long number of years, from afar, right? Not this year. It's probably its greatest victory, besides the, you know, hopefully you're going to cross a line of $15 million this year, which is amazing. In addition to the money raised, the victory of this is the thing that I've heard most about Smart Ride, which is how can an event like this that works with so many different organizations, have all of these organizations come together and work together? That is the impetus of an Ideas Festival. Wait, something interesting is happening here, exactly as you've said. The girls don't get along with the guys as well as they should. Mm-hmm. The white guys don't get along with the black guys as well as they should. Yep. And don't even get me started on trans or. That's I think the brilliance of this.
What's so important to remember too is that the L fights with the L, the G fights with the G.
Yeah,
you know, because within the G, you've got black, you've got white, you've got Latino, you've got conservative, you've got liberal. So we even within our own groups don't always get along.
But even
to see everyone come together.
But even the organizations don't get along sometimes. Okay, that's what really gets me, to see these organizations that fight for us on a daily basis. Okay, and they've gotten so far, but we can all get farther together. So for them to like just put those animosities aside and just work together will be the end all and be all. Right. Will be what will save us at the end.
It's wonderful, and I think it's a long overdue type event. I mean, it's kind of amazing that it took this long to get to this
Hasn't
point.
been done before.
Right, right.
That's a big deal. And also I think, Faye, that is a really good idea, because we can't continue to work in the same way that we've been working.
No,
we
we
just
can't.
can't. Our enemy, our problems, our crisis are bigger than we've experienced before. And the political might that is being used against us to marginalize community, to fight community, to limit our rights, to limit our health care, to limit our voting, and in every other possible way, requires new ideas. And so maybe once upon a time we could afford to not worry about what your community was doing and you not worry about what my community is doing. But it can't continue.
Those days are over, Albert.
Those days are over. Our enemies are too big and too powerful and too well-financed and too willing to throw us literally under the bus.
Well, it's like the early days of the AIDS crisis when women were there for their gay
For the
partners.
men.
It was amazing, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of
And
feels
trans
like that,
and
right?
drag queens were there at the Stonewall Inn as white gay men were under direct
Right.
attack by the police.
Right.
We forget that.
We do
We forget that.
Yeah.
And events like this should be reminding us.
Right. And I just love that it's always been, but this year especially, because of our communities needing to come together, we have an unprecedented number of other organizations that don't normally work with us having a huge presence on the ride. So Equality Florida has been there before, but they'll have a team on the ride. And Poverello, that feeds people that can't afford it, they'll be on the ride. And the Pet Project, that can make sure you don't lose your animals because you can't afford food and you can't afford someone to take care of them, they'll be on the ride. And SunServe will be on the ride. And so Trans Medical Consortium will be on the ride. It's all organizations that are now in a non-threatening environment, working and showing the larger world, look what we have to offer.
And being able to work together. A quick recap. We hope you'll participate. This is really a special event. It really, really is a special event for the entire LGBTQ plus community. So October 7th and October 8th, for complete details, I know we're talking about it, but you can read word for word details by going to happeningout.com with the ideas, and you can see all of the details of the festival itself, the Ideas Festival. You can register for the festival. I mean, $10. It means it's available for everyone. This is not a rich, older, white guys, gay guys event. This is for everyone. And most importantly of all, submit ideas. Create the suggestions of new ideas. The festival wants to hear from you. And as a result, if you have the best idea, on Saturday night, October 8th, you win $5,000. That is the way to make change in our LGBTQ community, regardless if it's for Black or brown or indigenous or girls or trans or white gay guys or whoever. We have many problems to address. And that is what the Florida LGBTQ plus Ideas Festival is going to do. Congratulations, Glenn. It's going to be fantastic, fantastic event.
Thank you.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.